Just Eff It.
Eff It. Hi, I'm Romi.
Hi, and I'm Carla.
And together we are the
The Eff It
EFFing Madres. We are here to invite you guys into stories of some inspiring Madres
who have changed their lives through an Eff It moment. So here we go. Just Eff It.
Hello, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Oh, man. What a mess I am right now. I just moved.
You are literally having a Monday right now.
I'm having
and
a
you're
Monday.
in your new home. Your new home and your new studio.
Yes, and I hope it's not super echoey because there is no furniture in here. So hopefully it doesn't sound like, reverberation or whatever.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I mean, it's all new.
Yeah.
New space, but I'm loving the dark wall. For those of you that can't see, she's got a big, is it black?
No, it's like dark pewter. It's like a really
really
dark
pretty.
gray, bluish gray.
Bluish gray.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, happy Monday. I wanted to let everybody know we just had our Madre event.
Yes.
Over a week ago, right?
Yes. It was incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. It was some like we kind of, I think, both went into it not really knowing what to expect. And it ended up being, I think the word I kept using was magical, because it was just like we brought these moms together. We all shared really deep things that for people that don't know each other, we're able to just like connect because of motherhood. We have that camaraderie and be able to talk about things that, like in any other world or in any other space, we wouldn't ever really chime in on those things. But the fact that we were in a safe space, that everyone were moms, and like we've all had a very similar journey with motherhood and could relate to each other. So it was really magical. I really enjoyed it.
It was. And for those of you that are like, what the heck is a, Madre event? We were also saying, what the heck is a Madre event? Because we didn't know. We really didn't know what to expect.
No.
Like we've been doing everything. We're like, fuck it, F it. We're going to throw a Madre event.
Yeah.
And then it was magical, as everything that we've seemed to kind of get from our F it moments. We're like, fuck, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Because like she said, it was a safe space for us to really speak and communicate. And it brought up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what happens when you put a bunch of women together, you spend the weekend together. We had Leslie who flew in and was a speaker and was teaching self-defense. We had Brooke, one of the guests on our show, fly in, and she was a speaker as well. We had a few other madres that were on the episodes that attended.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like you said, it was camaraderie. Well said, Carla. Well said. And it was beautiful. And there were two main questions that we asked everybody to break the ice. And those two questions opened up emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in tune to that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, wow, these questions are really like making people feel a lot of emotions, and they're getting comfortable. I got teary-eyed. I learned things about some of my friends I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Just being in that space. And so Carla and I sat in the car one of the mornings that she was with me, and we just started having this conversation. And it led us to the idea of what we're going to be doing today on today's podcast. This is going to be a two-part series in the Romi and Carla podcast. And the thing that we really want to do is I want to, and Carla wants to, and we want to let you guys in on who we are as mothers and what that journey has been like for us individually. Because every Monday we are interviewing another mother, a madre over her F it moment. But we haven't, some of you may not know really who we are or even what we're like as moms. And so we felt it was important. So I'm going to be interviewing Carla today.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hope you care to listen.
Of course they do. And then the following Monday, Carla will be interviewing me. So it's a two-part, just to let you in. And I will say this as one of Carla's best friends. I can proudly and own that. She has a difficult time, correct me if I'm wrong, but feeling like your story, like people almost want to hear it. So you're more comfortable asking other mothers questions opposed to sharing yours.
Yes. That is
well,
accurate.
This is part of this is part of the F it moment, Carla, where we also are going to get uncomfortable. And you, as a mother, in your F it moment of this journey that we are on, gets to get a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes. Well, that seems to be the theme in my life right now. So I'm just gonna own
Shaking
it.
shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna own it.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. I hope everybody enjoys this kind of switch up that we're doing. And I hope it really lets you guys into who we are a little bit more, since we really don't take the time to ask one another questions. But we want you guys to know who we are. We really do. We are going to jump right in, and these are the two questions that we brought up at our Madre event, and we figure we really believe that these are two powerful questions. So I think they will lead us right into what we really want to get to. So Carla, my first question is, what is your favorite thing about being a mom?
Well, my favorite thing about being a mom, I suppose, is, at least for me and the way that I've always been, I have always connected more with the masculine in me, the masculine side. So being a mom has made me connect to this side of me, the more feminine, softer side that I've not ever really been that in touch with. It's very new for me. It sounds odd to say that, being a woman, but like, and I think I mentioned to you and like to the moms that I had like a past life reading, and it said that I've been a man in most of my past lives, a misogynistic man, which I don't want to, I'm not proud of that, but for whatever reason, it resonated when this person said that. And I do believe that it's true. I just have always really resonated with more of my masculinity versus my femininity. And I think becoming a mom has definitely softened me up and made me even more affectionate with her, which I'm also not a very affectionate person. I just like, overall ice chip. But since having a child, that has been something that has been really nice to feel, because it's like I don't know, I'm stepping into a part of me that I've not ever really known, the softer side of me. Um so yeah, that's been a trip.
Yeah, as your one of your best friends is your sister from another mister, like I've seen that. I've seen that in you. It's been really beautiful. And you definitely have always had you're just I think it's so helpful to moms listening to that are really strong women like you,
Mm,
that are very confident and protected and strong, and we view you. I was telling you that today. Like, when people see you, they see this strong, together, powerful, beautiful woman, which is what you are. And then I think, as your friend, it's been interesting to watch you kind of get in touch with, yes, I'm strong. Yes, I'm all these things. But there's a little side to me that wants to kind of be more vulnerable, or or that you're exploring that, and that didn't happen until you became a mom, right?
yes, that didn't happen until I became a mom. And it is definitely a side of me that it's not that I haven't wanted to be more vulnerable. I just haven't, like, I don't know. I just haven't been comfortable enough or felt safe enough, maybe, to get there. And I think now, with this motherhood journey that has also led me into these other things that I'm doing now as a mom that I wouldn't have done, like this podcast, for example. I wouldn't have done it had I not
Yeah.
become a mom. It's just led me into these, just like, these new avenues of myself to explore. And it's been weird, because it's also like a new identity for me. That has also been, that's the, I guess, the other part of the question that I can go deeper into. But yeah, I can always go back to, it's just a trip. Like, this is all really trippy to me.
So your favorite thing, though, your favorite thing so far about being a mother has been that bit of vulnerability that you've really been able to explore.
Yes, I mean, of course, it's also another, like, lighter side to that, I suppose, is like, I get to see a version of myself running around in my house that is like, I can't believe that this little girl is part of me, that that carried her, I created her, and so that's obviously something that is also a great part about being a mom. I never, ever, ever in a million years would have thought I would have gotten married or that I would have had a
Yeah.
kid. And here I am
I know.
with both. Like I
I
just,
never thought you would have either,
it,
just for the record.
yeah,
Never. And I can't tell you how excited I was when you were like, I'm pregnant. I was like, we get to be moms
yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. Like
And then
I
we were completely different moms with
com-
completely different experiences.
completely different. And yeah, this is exactly what sparked this idea for this conversation. Realized how
Yeah.
you and I are so different, but yet we have
Which
this, I mean, the bond of being a mom and just the fact that, like, aside from the mom stuff, like, you are a very open-minded person and you're very, like, accepting and all of that. So, like, the fact that we can bond over these things that are so different in us is it's pretty great.
which is why these conversations are important, which is why we wanted to do this because as mothers, we can all be cheering each other on and rooting each other on, even being different types of moms. We don't have to just hang with like the same types of mothers.
Yeah.
I don't need to judge you for how you feel as a mother. You don't need to judge me how I feel as a mother.
Hmm.
We are two best friends who totally support each other in our motherhood journeys, and they are 100% different.
100%. I just wanted to go into asking you questions because that's the habit I
Yeah.
have. So I have to, like, sit here and be quiet now. It's very
No, because
uncomfortable.
this you are the guest today, Carla. You are the
Oh,
guest. This is not about me. We will get
God.
there. This thing I want to really explore with you, though, as the joy of the vulnerability. I think my next question in that piece would be, what part of motherhood brought that out? Why do you think it took becoming a mother for you to kind of experience what you're experiencing right now?
Mm, well, becoming a mother like forces you to put a lot of your stuff aside. And so I think that that was something that needed to come up for me. Like I needed to, like, not that I don't like care for myself. It's very self-care for me is very important, but it was like I finally had to split that with this small little baby that I was like, okay, I have to I'm, I love my child and I want to provide for her, so I'm, you know, gonna put the things that I want for myself over here, but not not below, but like I'm gonna put them over here for now and I'm gonna take care of this kid. And I think that that's ultimately what did that for me. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. And I think for those listening, because I know you too, and I think it was important part of our conversation so they can understand as well, is that when you gave birth to your daughter, there was not an immediate vulnerable break of connection that most mothers feel immediately.
Yes.
Can you share a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
Yeah. And yes, that was a really hard thing for me because, you know, like, to become a mom, you automatically assume that once you have your child, it's going to be like love at first sight and you're going to be completely in love with this child or whatever. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with one of my husband's friends that said to me, you know, it's okay if you feel like you want to throw your kid out the window. Like, it wasn't until then that I realized, okay, so there are other women out there that don't necessarily feel that immediate connection. I just didn't. I didn't. And, you know, maybe that was postpartum depression. I don't know. But, like, even my husband, both of us were on the same page. We both didn't feel this, oh my God, I love this thing. It was like, oh my God, this thing is sucking the life out of me. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Like, take her. You know what I mean? And so, you know, there's always this like mom guilt, you know,
Hmm.
when you talk to other moms that are like, I love being a mom. I fell in love, you know, I love being pregnant. I fell in love with my kid right away. And I was just like, no, that didn't happen for me. I thought the big reason why I don't want to have another kid. It's like that part
Yeah.
for me was that little newborn part. I didn't enjoy it. And I hate to admit it, but it's my journey. Like, I didn't enjoy it. So I mean, I'm sure there are other women out there that feel that same way, and it's not really, like, I guess people don't feel comfortable saying that, but I
Mm-mm.
want to say it because I know that there are women that I've spoken to that have connected with me in that sense. Like, they felt like, yeah, I 100% agree. I didn't feel that same way either. And I think it should be spoken about more because moms wouldn't feel so bad if that were the case. As long as you are you do love your kid and you're caring for them and you're not hurting them, you know, you can have these feelings. It's okay. It's okay. Like, it doesn't mean you're a bad mom. I know I'm not a bad mom. I'm a good mom, I think. And so, and my daughter seems to be like when we go to parties, she just runs away and she's like, I'm having fun. I know you guys are there. I trust you're there. Secure attachment. Like, I think that we've been, I think we've been doing a good, decent job so far.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are great parents. You're great parents, and I think that's such a valid thing and such an important thing, Carla, that you like I love that you're sharing this. I really do because there has to be some mothers out there that also got to that newborn stage and thought that this like magical blessing that we hear of, which I experienced, which is
Right.
I'm that one, but you're not, you know what I mean? That like that and for me it's like to hear that I can't relate to that, but there's so many moms that can, and I think so many moms are afraid to say it. I
Yeah.
think there are so many women that are afraid to say this sucked. The newborn part sucked. I didn't connect. I remember you calling me, Carla. I'd never heard you in my entire friendship with you that is over fucking decade, 20 years or something. Like, I've never heard you that low.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were exhausted. You were emotionally exhausted. And I remember hearing in you when you called me one night crying, like, she's crying, she's screaming, we haven't slept. You're the most structured woman, you're very good with your structure. So it was something that completely threw you off.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, I don't enjoy this. And I remember almost, us talking about like that was hard for you to say,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It was.
out loud.
Yeah, it was. It was. Like I said, if it wasn't for that one friend of my husband's who's become a good friend of mine that said that to me, I don't think I would have ever, even maybe to this point. Well, since we've been doing the podcast, I've been,
Yeah.
realizing that there are other women that do, but up until this point, I probably would have never openly admitted that because I would have felt ashamed. I would have felt like something's wrong with me,
And
but
that's why it's important that you say it though, because maybe that one person listening needs one person to say to them,
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, it is.
I'm here on this end as a great mom, loving my daughter. She's made me more vulnerable, but
Mhm.
in that moment, it didn't just come with becoming a mother. It
Yeah.
took you time.
Yeah, it took me time. And to be quite honest, I'm still on that journey. Like, I think it's getting that connection is starting to get stronger, but it's not 100% fully there yet. I'm still having a really hard time with like my transition of my identity from what I was before my daughter to who I am now, which I don't even know who this person is. I'm liking this person, but I'm very much still in a limbo, and that's been like it's still hard for me in the connection with my daughter in that sense. So
Hmm. And I'm sure for all of us. I mean, trying to figure out, and that's what we talked about so much that weekend, like who are you now? And I
yeah,
think you said something really powerful that weekend with Leslie, and it was like we're never gonna be, you said that we're never gonna
yeah,
be who we were before moms.
yeah.
It's just not gonna happen,
It's
right?
yeah. It's not going to happen. You're going to mourn. You're going to go through a grieving process. You're going to
Yeah.
mourn your old self. And but at the same time, I don't want to be that person again. I mean, like, I'll take the physical again, and I'll take the energy, but I don't want to be that person again because like, there was a lot of superficialness. There wasn't a lot of depth there. Um, but
Totally.
but who I am right now is I don't know. I don't know yet. I am a mom, and I am also in a huge transition in my life right now, having moved away from what I know, what I was comfortable with, to this whole new state. And so, like, I still very much am like, who is this Carla now? I don't know yet. And that's been a really hard thing to deal with. It's like this, I keep saying it's like a limbo. I feel like I'm in a limbo. I don't know who I am. And I'm struggling to find that person, but I know I'm on the path. This is why all these big changes are happening. Like, this is all meant to be. I don't believe in coincidences. Like, this big change is for a reason. And I think it's to redefine myself, but to who? I don't know yet, you know? And that's
To
hard for me.
you, to you. and to your daughter, and to, you know, so many women that are listening to you now, and you've put yourself in a space. I mean, for those of you tuning in for the first time, Carla just left LA, her home, right? Your
Yeah.
base, your
Mhm.
career,
Yep.
relocated your entire family to Florida,
Mhm.
went into a coaching program to go after a whole new career.
Mhm.
Um, started a podcast with me,
Mhm.
which you've never done before.
Nope.
And in that process, you wrote a child's book, right? In the last year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you are just checking things off of your list of big things that are changing. And yes, I think you're in that evolution of who you are. And that came from your family and from you and from life and from becoming a mother, you
Mhm.
know, that maybe you wouldn't be in this place if had you not become a mother. You know, maybe you would still be in LA doing hair, consumed with, you know, the vapidness of our self-love, you know, like
Yeah.
that we are guilty of.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for sure I would have stayed there. Like I there
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have been a lot of change in my life. So I'm super grateful to I mean, I would never say that I don't want to be where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I just am confused and like still trying to get my footing in what it is that I'm meant to do. But what I know I meant to do is something deeper and something more impactful. And that's why we'll do what we're doing feels so right, especially with mothers, because there's that connection no
Yeah.
matter what. Like, no matter what your life path is, the fact that you're a mom, there's an immediate connection. And that's what I love about this space. And that is what I love about being a mom. It has connected me more to women, to the feminine.
That's so huge. I think that was important what you just said, Carla, because I think that is it. I think motherhood has kind of broke a wall down for you, where you also have, and please correct me if I'm wrong. As your friend, I see things, but it could be off. You know what I mean? But I feel like your empathy
Hmm.
towards other women
Yeah.
and their lives and their
Yes.
worlds has changed since becoming a mother, because you are now thrown off out of your own strategic, steady, forward thinking life, because now you understand, because you're a mom, your life is going to be thrown a thousand different ways.
Yes. Yes, 100%. I probably was like the least empathetic person before.
Yeah.
100%. And now that I'm a mom, I'm like, I totally get it. Like,
Yeah.
girl, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like I
You
totally.
have so much heart. You're so passionate. And you, I mean, I'm not going to lie, even with Brooke was leaving last weekend and you had this beautiful weekend with her, and we had such a like sisterhood type weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like the most sisterhood I've ever seen us. And she was leaving and you hugged her and you told her you loved her and you like were giving her a hug. And I sat in the car and like I could have cried, because I was like, that's my friend. Like, that's my friend, connecting with women, feeling vulnerable, really letting them into your space and you into their space. And
Mhm.
like, that's not the person I knew before.
No. No. But it, it felt so fucking good. It
Yes,
felt
I
like
love that.
I will say that that weekend felt like no other weekend I've ever experienced before. And
Yeah.
had I not become a mom, I wouldn't have had that. So I'm so grateful that this is where I'm at, and it's connecting me to so many more women for sure.
Which then ultimately connects you to you. And when you
Yes,
say you feel more feminine, if you're connecting to the women around you, you're going to connect to the woman in you,
yes, yes. That's true.
you know,
Yes.
and yeah, so that's a whole feminine energy that's just,
Hmm.
you're in that like space right now.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. And I think that's also a beautiful thing for women to hear, that like maybe becoming a mom for you wasn't, oh my God, I looked at her and it was the most glorious thing. And I looked at this child and it was like a, you know, sent from the heavens, but maybe it was what it did to you,
Yeah.
how she in some way has evolved you,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, that's okay, that's your greatest joy of it right now.
Hmm.
And I'm sure it'll change
Yeah. Yeah.
and have many phases and stages that you'll explore with it.
Yes. Yes. But I really do want anyone listening out there that has felt that, and or not felt that, I guess is the better way to say, like, that have not felt that immediate connection, or like
Mhm.
even until your kids are older, some people don't feel that. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
okay. Like I said, as long as you're not like neglecting your child, that's fine. Those feelings are totally valid. They're okay. Like people have them. It's fine. Don't feel bad about it. I want to
Yes.
encourage people to understand that they're not a bad person if they feel this. Cuz I know I'm a
You're
good
not
mom.
alone.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know I care. I
Yeah.
love my daughter. I'll do anything for her and she's a happy kid. But like that has been my journey, and it's not always it's I mean, motherhood isn't easy, period. But I guess that particular part for me has been like, you feel even if there is someone out there that you heard had a similar story, it isn't until you start hearing more and more that you're like, okay, maybe I don't feel as bad, like, but that one person opened that little door for me. And now that I'm hearing that there are more people out there, it's made me feel a little bit more encouraged to speak out so that more people can be like, okay, it is okay. I'm not broken, you know?
Well, you also opened my mind, and I hope open other women's minds as well that are the opposite of you,
Mhm.
who hear that story and we're like, what? Like
Yeah.
that? What? Like so. If you're a woman out there that is like me that didn't have that same experience, we're asking you guys to just kind of open your minds in a sense and be compassionate and empathetic, including myself.
Yeah.
This is my best friend who I love, who I know is a good woman, who has a good heart, who's going to be a good mom, but is telling me something that I cannot connect to.
Yeah.
Not only can I not connect to it, my immediate reaction is, "Are what?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And women that have more of my experience, like women, moms, everyone listening, like we need to give space to those moms that don't share the exact experience as us. We're not better.
Yeah.
We're not grander. There's no scale
No.
of who's the better mom.
Yeah.
These are just our personal experiences, and every one of them is okay. And when we start to get to that level, that's where this community and women are supporting women instead of shaming each other
Yes.
for their experience in motherhood.
Yes. One thing that
So,
I've actually experienced a couple here, like with people, moms that been speaking with, is like, don't ever tell another mom what she should and shouldn't do. Don't
fuck
ever
no.
fucking tell another mom what she should and shouldn't do. Like the conversation for me was like having another kid, and I was like, no. And I've heard a few people be like,
You're
oh,
going to
but
want
you
to have
should.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I understand what you're saying, but like, if it makes me feel like it makes me feel bad, but I know what my reasons are, that I know for my daughter, what I'm giving her is all of me. I know for
Yeah.
me, my mom shouldn't have had 3 kids. Like,
Right.
she didn't
Right.
have that capacity for 3 children or more than 2. I wanna give all of what I am able to give to my daughter and still be taking care of me, you know?
And that's
And
okay.
that's
If you
okay.
are a mom and you have a balance or desire, as I do as well, Carla, you know that, for you to want to put yourself as much there as your child and for those things to coexist, women, it is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It is okay to do that, and it's okay to say no, I don't want any more, because hey, I don't want to go through the body stuff. I don't want to go through the newborn stuff. I want enough time to actually have time with my spouse and my personal life and
Mhm.
my career, and that doesn't mean that you're not a good mom.
Yeah,
It
no.
actually it's more important that I feel if we are in tune with us and our needs,
Yeah.
we're actually better moms.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the whole full cup is full thing. Like if your full cup is full, you're able to fill everyone else's. That's how I feel. I'm not saying that like, hey, people change their minds. Maybe a couple years from now I changed my mind, but at least right
Totally.
now, that's how I'm feeling. And all I'm saying is like, if you encounter someone that says they don't want this or that, don't be like, oh, but you should, or you shouldn't. Like, just be like, okay, great. That's all.
Totally.
That's your journey. That's your journey.
My last question, I would like to ask you, which is kind of what we touched on, but I don't know if you want to dig any deeper into it, because this is a question that I don't feel people like to ask, and we feel it's important to ask.
Hmm.
So it's okay to say, Carla, what is your least favorite thing about being a mother?
Well, I mean, I guess it would tie into,
Honestly.
I mean, the loss of my independence. Like, I did whatever the
Hmm.
fuck I wanted whenever I wanted. And I think that's I mean, honestly, I think that's every single mom before they had a kid. Like you just do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And I did catch myself so many times over the sink cleaning a bunch of shit that I just didn't want to be cleaning, like basically crying and being like, I miss my old life. Like I miss that aspect of my old life. Not all the
Yeah.
things, like I said before, do I want to have again, but like the fact that like now that I have to check in with my husband, I never had to fucking do, you know what I mean? Like now I have to be like, hey, can I take a shower? Hey,
Yeah.
can I go to this
I mean
hey, can I go to the store? Oh my god, it drives me crazy,
I
but,
mean, even before doing this podcast today, you were like, "Can you watch her so I can do my job?" You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because
yeah,
that's the reality of motherhood.
yeah, yeah. That and I mean, I guess the other thing that's a little lighter than that is, well, it's not lighter. It's right now my daughter's going to turn 2, and I do think that she's processing this big change that just happened, on top of the fact that her brain is exploding right now with development. So, today was probably
Yes.
like 3 hours worth of tears, and like nothing was making her feel better. And it's really hard to keep yourself together when that's happening. So it really just brings up a lot of your own childhood stuff. Like for
Mhm.
me, my mom would have been like, shut up, like stop crying.
Mhm.
And I am not saying that to my daughter because I don't want her to be getting a theme song of Cold as Ice like I did from Two Ex-Boyfriends. You know what I mean? Like I want her to be in touch with her
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it really does. It brings us back to our childhood. I think I would assume most women, mothers, parents, it really, when those things come up, we're like, oh, how was I treated in this? How do I want to do it? What do I
y-
want to,
yeah.
we want to make sure we don't do it the way that our parents did it. And then there's things we want to add that our parents did. And then it's like a little bit traumatic or it's a little bit nostalgic. And there's just so much. And again, that stage, if you see a parent with their surfboard kid crying out of a grocery store, please don't fucking judge them because that mom's probably has no choice to get her fucking groceries in that minute. Her kid is losing their goddamn mind and she's probably going to scream and cry and may throw some F bombs. Let her.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. I think so many of us have cried over a kitchen sink being like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do we just like, clap our hands and everything freezes for a moment to just breathe? And you can't.
No.
You're just in it.
You can't,
You're just
yeah,
in it.
you just do it. But that's where we realize, like, we really are super women. Like, the fact that we are able
Oh,
to endure, I mean, maybe not always in the right way, because we are
yeah.
humans too and we have emotions, but like
Yes.
the fact that we can endure, like, all of that on top of a house, on top of a job, on top, like, and people that have multiple kids, like, I can bow down to you because I don't know.
More bow down. Like,
Yeah.
you and I both are in the areas in which we are alike, it's that we are pretty solid with our one child because 'cause we're aware of how much we can
Yeah.
handle
Yeah.
and give,
Yeah.
you know? When I see parents and I know, like you're saying, with multiple, like, I feel like a hero. I know you feel like a hero. I feel like Superwoman half the time,
Mhm.
And when you see parents with like multiple, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're running a house, you're running a career, you're doing school, you got homework for 3, you got school activities. Not only do you have all these things you have to show up for, the dishes need to be done, the
Mhm.
laundry needs to be done, everything needs to be done, but emotionally, you're going through something. So right now, you're personally going through a huge emotional transition that at times doesn't get the space it needs because you've got so many other things that need you first.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like it's literally the hardest job. It is the hardest
Yeah.
job.
Well, I am so happy that you came on here and shared. And my last question before we close, and I hope people have really kind of gotten to know you more and understand you as a mother, would be what is your advice to any mom that really has gone through not immediately feeling, that joy or that connection?
To not beat yourself up. And I'm saying that out loud so that I can also listen to my own advice because I am also very hard on myself, but like it's okay. Like don't beat yourself up. There are women out there who don't get that immediate connection. It doesn't mean that you are not a good person or a good mom, it doesn't mean that. It will come at some point. At some point, you get connected to your kid in some way. It might be in a different way from like that person that immediately has the connection, but you're ultimately going to have that connection in some way, shape, or form. It just will come in its own time, and just be patient. Like, don't be hard on yourself, because that's not going to help at all. And that will start giving you that shame and that guilt, which you don't need. We already have that as moms already all the time. Don't add that other layer on top of yourself. So, and be open about it. The more people that are open about it, the more other people hear that and feel, oh, okay, I feel that too, and it's okay. And so then it becomes normalized. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's okay to have these feelings. Again, as long as you're not hurting your child, you can have these feelings and it's okay.
100%. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, and next week we'll be swapping
Yeah,
and
and I'll be
I'll be in
interviewing
the
you.
hot seat.
Yeah.
So all right, guys. Well, this is where we just say, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Just
Just F
F it.
it.